Protect your privacy online with the best VPN for gaming, ExpressVPN, and visit expressvpn.com/GhillieMaster, linked in the description, to find out how you can get 3 months free. The Chernobog was added into the world of GTA Online in December of 2017 with the release of the Doomsday Heist update. I and many others were excited for a vehicle like this to finally come to the game because in the update prior to Doomsday we received a lot of aircraft, so it was cool to see a vehicle to be dedicated for taking out aircraft with its extremely long-range missiles. Unfortunately though, it just didn't really do its job all that well, and we were left with a very situational vehicle at best and a waste of facility space at worst. This vehicle really doesn't have too many flaws, it's just the flaws that it does have basically render it useless in today's environment. First of all, the armor. The Chernobog requires you to post up at a location, essentially making you a sitting duck for attackers, and in return, the Chernobog receives no armor or explosive resistance to compensate for this behavior. All it takes is a plane to get just one lock-on for a split second to then fire a rocket, and it's all over for the Chernobog. And the second thing, the missiles really aren't anything to be afraid of. If a dedicated combat plane like the Pyro, Laser, or Hydra is locked onto by the Chernobog, you might take them out, but more often than not, it'll just turn into an endless cycle of the jet going in circles to avoid the missiles, while the Chernobog just keeps firing them in hopes that one of the missiles then cuts the jet off. This isn't really a reliable way to deal with aircraft. A dedicated anti-air missile launcher should be something the aircraft of all kinds do not want to mess with. So moving into what we are going to change about the Chernobog, number one, we're going to give it some armor. As much as I can anyways, there are limitations of what I can and can't do with just editing the game files that I have access to, but the armor buffs that were given to the Chernobog should help cover up some of its weaknesses. And the next thing, we're going to give it some scary missiles that aircraft will not be able to avoid with evasive maneuvers. Now, I'm not able to change the tracking of the missiles through the game files, but I am able to change other things that will make the missiles a whole lot better. Let's first discuss the armor changes that we made to the Chernobog. We have given it the flag for capped explosive damage, which, like it says, makes it take less damage from explosive weapons. This changes the Chernobog from a vehicle that normally takes 1 RPG to blow up to taking 5 RPGs to blow up. A common strategy that I've seen used against myself, even in the Chernobog, is to go somewhere far away but still in view of the Chernobog, and then shoot it with the explosive sniper rounds, because it only blows up in just 3 of those. Well, the strategy will not work out too well with the buff Chernobog, unless of course you want to use up a lot of your explosive ammo, because the changed version takes 13 explosive rounds to destroy, which gives you more than enough time to react as a Chernobog user getting attacked by this. I would have liked to give the Chernobog even more armor than this, maybe armor similar to the Menacer, but as I stated before, there are limitations to what I can do, and even this is a huge improvement. I also lowered the amount of damage a Chernobog takes from just regular bullet weapons, and I also lowered the amount of damage that is applied to the engine by a substantial amount to give it a little more protection against just hordes of cops shooting at you. And this is the perfect segue into another armor buff that we gave it, because another annoyance about the Chernobog is that after using it for some time, you attract a lot of cops to your location, and one thing that's particularly annoying is that you can't really do anything about the cops that come up close to you, so eventually you just end up getting shot out of the turret seat like in this gameplay, and that's just really annoying and unfun. So with the help of my friend C.Stewart Gaming, he gave the Chernobog bulletproof windows. I will have a link to his channel down in the description. Make sure to go thank him for helping out with this video. He does lots of cool vehicle modeling work for GTA stuff, and I really appreciate him helping out with the Chernobog buff. And the bulletproof windows solve 2 issues. The first being the issue with the cops eventually shooting you out when they swarm you, and the second one being if players try to snipe you out of the turret seat from far away. Of course, in PvP, this can still be countered if you have FMJ rounds equipped, as FMJ rounds will pierce bulletproof glass. So this then brings some interesting counterplay into the equation and gives a bit more benefit to the FMJ rounds, which aren't really used all that often. Switching to the offense now, the issue with the missiles is that they have the same speed as every other homing missile in the game, which means that the usual method of going in circles to dodge said missiles still works. Well, with the buffed missiles, I highly doubt that's the case, since we buffed the launch speed of the missiles from 1200 to 7200. That's a 6 times increase in the speed of the rockets, so what this essentially means is if you're locked onto by a Chernobog, you better either start popping flares or get ready to eject out of the pilot seat. We also gave it a slight increase in the fire rate from 0.150 or 400 RPM to 480 RPM, and it just makes it feel a bit less clunky. You'll see what I mean when I show the comparison right about now. The missiles are much scarier now, and as they should be for a vehicle with giant missiles like these. Unfortunately, I have no way of testing the circle method against these fast rockets, but I highly doubt they're going to be able to avoid them. And after using the buffed missiles for so long, going back to using the regular Chernobog missiles that are in the live game right now, it almost feels like slow motion. I don't know why Rockstar never thought about just boosting the speed of these rockets to help with taking down fast-moving vehicles like jets. Seems kind of like a no-brainer to me. I'm not saying every single homing missile should go this fast, but at least the Chernobog should. The dedicated anti-air vehicle with giant missiles should be the vehicle that aircraft are afraid of messing with, not the other way around. Like, why is the easiest way to take down the Chernobog an anti-aircraft vehicle an aircraft? It just doesn't make sense. Anyways, that is going to conclude this GTA Rebalance. Again, I want to give a massive shout out to my friend C.Stewart Gaming for helping with the bulletproof glass. His channel will be down in the description. If you guys enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like, as well as subscribe to my channel for more guide and PvP related content. Let me know which vehicle or weapon I should rebalance next in the comments, and also let me know what you think of the Chernobog rebalance. Huge thank you to my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.